still people on this planet right now today that will tell you and argue with you as vehemently as we've been having our discussion that this earth is flat. And how a person can come back,
I will join. I'm not a physicist, and I will not. I tell people I don't know. Is it flat or round? I don't know, but I have been told, and I've read books that says it is round, and I will accept it for now. And that ends the conversation because I never get into something I have no credibility. For example, Earth, and this is for people who study physics and all that. I must say, I study mass communication journalism. I'm not credible in that. So my answer always is, I don't know, but I have been taught in school it's round. And I wrote it.
For me, I say, I've seen it.
Because yes, round. That's correct. Because
I looked at it and I see it round.
Yes.
I saw the sun over there and I saw the darkness over there. I saw it with my own eyes. Now, some people say what we see with our own eyes, we shouldn't believe.
So this is my challenge to you. You said something I totally agree. You said 14% of the 365 million people. That is a big number. That can make a huge dent. So you said if we start boycotting, which would mean automatically or simultaneously, we should also start creating like the Chinese have done, the Koreans have done, and everybody, and then boycott, we would have an effect. They will listen to us. They will treat you. Why don't we start this year first? No, this is my challenge. Let's start this year. First, start by boycotting the elections.
I think if we boycott the elections, we run ourselves the risk of no longer existing.
Montel, something you've not tried, you don't know. You've tried it. So I tell you, 1992 to 2024 is 32 years. Of the 32 years, Democrats have ruled for 20 years with the same promise. What has changed? Nothing. Republicans only had Clinton for 8 years, and then interrupted by George Bush. Then Obama for 8 years, that's 16. And then Biden for 4 years, 20 years in 32 years, nothing has changed. What boycotting it now would change, Montel? Why do you love elections so much? Let's boycott.
I believe right now, this particular election, because there's a person who has already stated unequivocally that he agrees with the tenets that are in this 2025 project.
No, I saw him once for 4 years, and it wasn't dangerous to me or to anybody. Many people would say, at least I have tested him for 4 years already. So what new?
And when I tested him, he's going to change. He is now already driving down the road.
Are you going to prosecute a man before he commit a crime? Is what you mean? He's going to change?
I'm prosecuting for the crimes he has already committed. The 30,000 lies that he has already committed.
No, those I have credibility. I can't even argue it with you because I would never know. I would never.
Okay, well, how about just know this? Take a look at the fact that one of his biggest platforms while in office was to give tax cuts to a percentage of this country that never, ever, ever attempted to use those tax cuts to better the rest of the country. That's what I'm about, and that's what I'm afraid of. And I'm also afraid of the fact that in that 2025 project, we're talking about going back and changing laws, the ability for people of different races and colors to marry. Are you kidding me? We're going to put together.
In defense, I also have people with whom I hold conversations. In defense of him, there is no way he has been credited to be the author of Project 2025, Montel.
Oh, I never thought he was the author. He's also already multiple times embraced it, then turned around and lied and said that he doesn't even know what it is.
Okay.
This is a guy who out of one side of his mouth says
nothing will go wrong.
Wait, hold on a second. One more thing. This is a guy who, whether you want to look at it historically, just take a look at the information that was released in the Epstein files. Here's a man who said on national television in front of everybody in this country, I don't know who this man is, yet appears in over 100 pictures with him, kissing him, sitting with him, kissing him on the head, sitting with him with underage girls. Here's a man who went on radio himself and said that he liked to sneak into the beauty pageants that he ran for teenage girls while they were undressing. If anybody else had done that, they would be called a voyeur or a peeping Tom. They would be arrested for child molestation.
Yes.
But they aren't arresting this guy.
I know a man also. I know a man that you like. I know a man also that you like so much. He left from a state coming all the way to DC. Behind him was a trail of women suing him left and right. He settled one with $50,000. And then he defamed and destroyed the life of a young girl entrusted in his hands while he was sitting in one of the most powerful chairs in this country. And you didn't go after him, Montel. That is Bill Clinton.
Wait a minute.
Are you talking about things Donald Trump said he did when he was a celebrity that it disqualifies him? How about when you campaigned for Clinton even after he has defamed Monica Lewinsky?
I literally campaigned. I never really campaigned for Clinton. I literally just threw my support in for Clinton before the election.
You were beloved he quoted your name. You were beloved by the Clintons. Yes.
Oh, yeah, wait. I went to multiple events with Clinton as I've gone to events with Donald Trump. I stopped supporting Clinton the day the Monica Lewinsky story broke. I'm on record on my television show for not supporting him the day that happened. I don't believe in child molesters. I think that right there to me is nefarious and evil intent. Now, though she was over the age of 21, I still didn't agree with that. So when we look at Donald Trump and we look at the fact that there are numerous women coming forward at the age of 16, 15, talking about having had relationships with this man, that's something I can't in any way, shape, or form look myself in the mirror knowing that I'm supporting a person who is willing to rape a child.
No, you have more access. I give that to you. I will never be able to either speak for it or defend it because I have no credibility. I've never been around him, known him, but in your capacity and as a celebrity, I know that you have access. And I'll leave that, of course, and not even challenge it. But really, I am grateful there is a brain out there like yours. You're still relevant. I must tell you that. When I say your name, people are like, oh my God, I wish you say him. We are throwing you an invitation to Bridgeport. Because one of my students who went to Africa with me happened to have, and I'm sorry to say, MS, and always talk about you. You were one of his inspirations. She's now a PhD holder and has her own chef business in New York. And she would cook a special dish, he said, for money.
Well, that's great. Well, look, let's continue this conversation, though. I mean, I think when I said to you earlier about the fact that I'm not even as convinced that we need to boycott as much as we just need to make sure we know where to spend.
Okay.
There's a little difference in that. I'm not out to hurt anybody else's business, but I am out to help our businesses, completely help our businesses. You talk about the fact that we have a list of African Americans in the top 1%. And look, this may sound like something disparaging against my own people, and I'm not trying to do that. But I'm going to say, I'm a Baltimore boy. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. You ever heard of this term called the bucket crab syndrome? You know what I'm talking about? Now, why? Why is that ingrained in the psyche of African Americans? Because every step along the way since we've been on this continent, we've had to scrap, some cases pull another brother down to just get our foot on the first step. But that's now become a genetic trait. Isn't it so interesting that we have more African-American billionaires than we've ever had in the history of the world in America? I agree with you with that 100%. How many of them, how hard would it be to get together on New Year's Eve like some of the Caucasian billionaires do on New Year's Eve and have a forum about how we want to impact the next year?
I like that. Now,
we don't do that.
At least you put questions to the behavior, not like Umar Johnson, who just think he has the answers. Those questions you've asked about that behavior, I think I'm going to reserve it. There is going to be a chance for me to sit face to face with you, and you would fall in love with my conclusions about that behavior, and you will forgive them. I know. I have done it many places.
I forgive too, because I'm going to tell you, like you had said, what stops us has been what's been ingrained in us. And you're absolutely right. When one generation teaches another generation, teaches another generation, teaches another generation, that's how we have racism that it still exists on this planet. That's how we have the hatred that we have existing on this planet right now. Because one generation tells another generation and don't want to let it go.
Yeah.
It is time, and I will agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
It's time for us as the African American community to stop saying that
Yes.
we can't.
That's correct.
Yes, we can. I'll give you an example. A young brother I know, and I'm so sorry, the name is slipped me right this second, but I'll remember before I finish this sentence. I know a young African American entrepreneur who is trying to start a new banking system in the United States. Matter of fact, Martin Luther King's daughter is a part of this project. I'm a part of this project because what we're trying to do is trying to say, let's reinvent the entire process by which people are given an opportunity. Where and why do not a lot of African Americans have generational wealth? We don't have it because a lot of us haven't gotten to the point where we can buy a home that will then go up in value, be sold at the death of, let's say, the patriarch or the matriarch. That money then filters back down to the family. That money is used, if used correctly, can be reinvested in other ways to start businesses that will generate, okay? Some of that has been because of institutional prohibition on giving African Americans loans for homes that they can own. So this young entrepreneur that I know proffered, if we have so many African American families renting, and we know they make their rent payment every single month. I'm not talking about the ones that don't. I'm talking about the ones that do.
Yeah.
Why should we not allow those who have the ability to make that rent payment every month turn that rent payment into a mortgage payment?
Oh.
Why should we not say, if I've looked at your record for the last 3 years, you've been renting for the last 3 years, you've been paying this amount of money in rent for a 2-bedroom apartment, where in the same state, a couple blocks over, you could have bought a 1 or 2-bedroom house
And then have an asset
for 15% less than you're paying in rent. And if you have been paying that rent and not missed that rent payment at all, come to me and let me give you a mortgage so that now you can be a homeowner rather than a renter. You can start building that that generational wealth that other communities have been able to do. If you talked about it earlier, how come other races in America aren't seeing the same plight we have? Because you look at some of those races, from the Jewish community to the Asian community to the Hispanic community, a lot of them get together, pool money to help others in their same community start to ascend to a higher level of being.
What you have
We don't do it.
what you have described, the crabs in a bucket, come to the continent of Africa. It's worse than you see it here. Montel, I'm telling you something. I have huge credibility to be able to look at the life of blacks in the Caribbean, lives of blacks in communities in Europe, in America, and the continent, and tell you there is nothing happening you have described that is not happening on the continent. It's worse. We do not pool together. We don't support each other's business. It's a problem we discuss on the continent. And so what I have done in the last 13 years during my 9-country tour, and then I came back from 3 a month ago, is to begin to let college students not make the conclusions of why, but ask, why is that so peculiar to only one single race on earth?
That one, my friend, you have way more experience on the African continent than I do. But I
want to share with you what I've seen.
Okay, but let me jump in for just a second. I have questioned, especially recently, when we know that technology on this planet only exists because of the minerals and things that are coming off the African continent. Cobalt.
Uranium in South Africa.
All of these precious minerals.
Yes.
That this continent could shut the world down if it said, "Get the you know what off of my land. No, you're not allowed here anymore. If you want this, give me the machinery. Give me a 10-year contract. I will employ my people and dig it up for you, and we will give it to you at X number rate." I don't understand why that doesn't happen.
Very simple. I just told you.
Yes.
Montel, no one is stealing no mineral from Africa. These are all things made up to make Africans angry and explain why they're not doing it. Give the machinery and the money to the African who is sitting on gold in Ghana or diamonds in Sierra Leone or cobalt in the Congo. You won't get a bucket of any of those shipped to Europe. It won't happen. The only reason it's coming out is simply because they come to ship it. They don't steal it. That's what I say. It's a long discussion. You would be blown away. You would agree with me, and you would have a peace of mind that there is nothing wrong, Montel. I'm honest about this particular one. I am telling you right now, January 5th, 1990, South Africa turned around, 100% parliament were blacks. The entire corporate black. They were allowed to hire, and they put in place a law that says they will hire 3 black people before hiring a black man. It's 32 years now. South Africa now cannot keep on electricity for 24 hours. Water is not flowing anymore. I went to Johannesburg, Amanzimtoti, Durban last year. Trains have died on the tracks. I met at UNISA, University of South Africa, with 28 professors. 11 of them were blacks and the rest was white. And they both spoke the same language, begging that they should give the thing back to the whites.
But is that because we don't have the ability to run that country, or is that because there has been efforts that has thwarted the ability for us to run the country?
No, there is nowhere in this earth where any artificial effort ever thwarts somebody's ability. 14 countries were taken by USSR, Union of Soviet Socialist Republic, for 40 years. The Ukraine you see today, the Bulgaria, the Poland were all part of the USSR. They were held down. They spoke only Russia. The radio stations, everything, their cultures were seized. Museums were demolished. 1989, it is, right? Under Gorbachev, perestroika, glasnost, and the wall went down. The 14 countries became free. What do you see there today? Skype was invented immediately from Estonia. And today, technology is booming across all 14 countries. So no, colonization never steals away from people ability. It is the balloon effect. You sit on it, yes. Once you get off, it will go back up. Tell me, Montel, why 54 countries is on one planet, 13 black countries in one area, the Caribbean, put together 68. Name one single black country on Mother Earth that is fully industrialized.
It's so crazy. Now, if you look, I can't tell you, but you go back and look, I know one of the plans that Muammar Gaddafi had was trying to come up with a single African currency.
After he has failed his country, he was trying to win support from outside. No man should be given AK-47 for 42 years. He could have changed that place into Denmark. No, Gaddafi was the craziest man God ever put as a leader of any country. One, he was not well educated. He came from down Benghazi to come down, to go through the ranks to become, and then overthrew King Aziz from emotion. And he held his country down for 42 years. No competition. And look at Libya. He created one of the largest lazy people on earth. When he failed, he began to want Africans to make him president of Africa when you couldn't even keep 2.7 million people developed. Think about it.
So where is the legitimate, I'm not saying, I'm using it sort of loosely, but where's the legitimate Gaddafi? Where's the person that can unite Africa and say, it is now time for us to stop being this third world?
This Pan-African movement is nonsensical emotion. Here, Nigeria has 211 distinct tribes. My country is only 6.5 million people, Benin Republic, and we have 51 tribes. If I travel 3 miles north, I can't speak. I need an interpreter. We couldn't even unite Benin, and now you want to unite Africa. That is the most bogus, stupid decision I've ever heard coming from anybody. Nigeria is they are fighting every day, killing each other. You know, Kenya has only 47 tribes, 47 counties, number 42 tribes. They can't unite. The Luos, the Kikuyus, the Kalenjin, the Maasai, they can't. Somalia, Sudan, you go down, everyone has a problem. The Rwandans, 2 major tribes in Rwanda, and they kill each other. So if the countries can't even unite with the pluralistic tribes they have, now they're going to be one Africa? Impossible.
Got it. So what do we do? So what do you do in the next 100 years to get Africa to start to see that that division has to end before they will ever come from where they are now to
Yes,
at
it's
least be a
like
part
it's
of
like
a modern.
asking, yeah, it's like what would you say to the fish in 100 years? The fish can climb.
Right.
No, the division we have to question, and I have my own theories about it. Yes, it is quite sad if you hear it. If you don't attend to it with emotion and you are able to suppress the emotion and listen to it, because look, I am blacker than anyone can. I have taken pride in my culture. When I lived in South Korea, when I lived in Japan, you know me, my room is all Africa. But I know it, that even in Benin, I am not a Beninois. Because if I go outside Benin and they ask me, how do you marry in Benin? What is my answer? I can only describe how it's done in my tribe. So that will be true. But if I describe it as Benin, that is a lie for the rest of the people. If they ask me, what do you eat in Benin? There is nothing like that. What is the culture of Benin? There is nothing like that. What is the language of Benin? There is nothing like that. So who is a Beninois then? We are just tribes, Montel, in a 6.5 million people. If they see my last name, they know what tribe I come from. You know Angelique Kidjo?
Okay.
Yes, she's from Benin. That's my mother's tribe. And then you know Jimo Honsu, Amistad. That's the only famous two people from Benin. Okay? If I say my last name at an airport in Benin, they know my tribe. I'm worse than an N-word person here in America. This is the truth. Just ask many people. Same with Nigerians. There are tribes in Nigeria, major tribes. If they come to the airport and show their passport, their last name can tell where they come from. If you go to Rwanda some 30 years ago, just being a Tutsi, you are a cockroach. A Hutu immigration will do whatever they can do. So where did it go wrong? Now, you take a small portion of all those into one ship and bring them to America, and you are expecting that they will unite? No, it's a DNA. You ask me, what should we do? The first thing is to at least, like the AA would say, acknowledgement of what went wrong. But when you make a conclusion with colonization, you're done. You're not going to solve your problem. If you make a conclusion with racism, you're not going to solve your problem. So conclusions have become our most terrible enemies.
Very interesting.
I know only a man like you will see the depth of this.
Yeah, only very, very interesting. And
Yeah,
and I will again tell you. I think, you ever heard something called the beach ball theory? You know what a beach ball looks like?
No.
You know, a beach ball? Beach ball has 6 colors on it. Okay? On one side of the beach ball, it goes, let's say, red, blue, white. Then it goes yellow, orange, green. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm holding the red, blue, white, and I'm holding it like this for you to look at, what do you see? Red, blue, white, right?
I would describe the whole beach ball as red, blue, right.
That's right. If I twist it like this, all of a sudden it became green, red,
exactly.
blue.
Yes.
So now I get to see just a little bit of what you're thinking about. And though I may sit here while I'm looking, no, it's not red, blue, white. It's green, orange, yellow. You're saying, no, it's red, blue, white. No, it's green, orange, yellow. Then I twist it. Now all of a sudden it's white, yellow, orange.
That's correct.
And you got green, blue, red. Really?
Very interesting.
I keep twisting that ball.
Yes.
I keep seeing other perspectives.
Very, very interesting.
It's very good that we both can sit down and see the whole ball.
Yes.
And not just 3 lines.
That's what you do.
Yes. I can agree with you with some of what you say.
Yes.
But because of my perspective, I only get to see these 3. This is what I've seen for my life. But I'm willing to see another color.
I wish many people would say
look at it.
Yes,
Huh?
yes. I wish many people can even think like this. That's quite yes, admirable. I agree with you.
A lot of people won't take the time because the second you say that ball's not what I thought it was, all of a sudden, I
all
start
hell
questioning
breaking
who I am.
Exactly.
And so it's good to have repartee like this.
Yes.
It's good to be adamant in our repartee like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Because it really is, from my perspective, all I want to do is let you see it just a little differently than you saw it to begin with.
You succeeded. Yep. Thank you. Yeah. I knew I shouldn't say, my engineer say, would you do 30 minutes? I said, not Montel, I can't say. I'm just going to open the box and hey, Montel, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. And no, before we go, for
Yes.
those who get to see this,
Yes.
they need to understand this isn't just two black men arguing with each other.
Yes.
This is two very, 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 very concerned black men trying to find equal ground. That's all it's all about.
That's it. Wow, that's a strong finish, and I like it. I salute you. Well, hey everybody, this is ZPR, Zanu Project Rethink, and Montel from Free Thinking. Thank you so much, and I know we're gonna talk about.
Let's do it again.
Bye bye.
Yes, bye bye.